I'm Dr. Val Arkush, Chair of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners, here today with my fellow Commissioners, Vice Chair Ken Lawrence and Commissioner Joe Gale, as well as Dr. Brenda Weiss, Administrator for our Office of Public Health, Dr. Alvin Wong, our Regional EMS Director, and Sarah, our Sign Language Interpreter. So we continue to have a rapidly evolving situation here in Montgomery County. As always, I will do my best to answer all of your questions as I can. Since our press conference yesterday, we have had 13 new positive cases of COVID-19 in Montgomery County, which brings us to a total of 68. First is an adult female, 42, who resides in Lower Marion Township, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization, and she is currently at home being monitored. Second, an adult male, 66, who resides in Whitpain Township. This individual is hospitalized. Third is an adult male, 57, who resides in Lower Moreland Township, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. Fourth is an adult male, 47, who resides in Abington Township, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. Fifth is a pediatric female, 4 years old, who resides in New Hanover Township. This child is hospitalized. Sixth is an adult female, 57, who resides in Lower Marion Township. As was mentioned yesterday or the day before, we're now getting information from commercial labs. That information does not always come in complete. So in this case and one other case that I'm going to present today, we actually aren't sure if they're hospitalized or not. So just making that notification. Seventh is an adult female, 20 years old, who resides in Springfield Township, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. Eighth is an adult male, 31, who resides in Upper Marion Township, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. Ninth is an adult male, 22, who resides in Lower Marion Township, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. 10 is an adult female, 92, who resides in Cheltenham, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. 11 is an adult male, 95, who resides in Cheltenham, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. 12 is an adult male, 22, who resides in Abington, whose symptoms do not require hospitalization and is currently at home being monitored. And 13 is an adult male, 72, who resides in Abington, and we're unsure of where this individual is at this moment. I do have information today that as of March 19th, 407 Montgomery County residents have tested negative. Now I want to be clear, that is not all of our negatives, but it gives you a general sense of where we are in terms of negatives. So we have 68 positives today, that's a firm number. We have 407 negatives, but again, that does not represent the full total of negative patients, but we could pull that much together for you today. So as I'm sure you've heard, Governor Wolf reiterated and strengthened his order yesterday for non-essential businesses to be closed. As always, I cannot answer all of the questions that we've been receiving about what is meant by essential and non-essential and which businesses are on the list and off the list. I'm going to share with you two emails. One is an email for businesses that are seeking clarification. That email is ra-dcedcs@pa.gov. I'll repeat that. ra-d as in David, c as in cat, e as in elephant, d as in David, c as in cat, s as in Sam, at pa.gov. That's for businesses seeking clarifications. For businesses that are deemed to be not essential and would like to seek a waiver to stay open, there is a different email address. That email is ra-d as in David, c as in cat, e as in elephant, x, e as in elephant, m as in Mary, p as in Paul, t as in Tom, i, o, n as in Nancy, at pa.gov. So one more time, that's ra-d questions there. We cannot answer these questions here at the county. Next, we are putting a call out to any business that might have any type of mask that they would be willing to donate. We are taking masks of any type. So for instance, maybe you are a landscaping business or a business that uses certain cleaning products that requires a mask when you use certain products. If you are at the moment not working and you have masks that you would be willing to donate to the county, we can use masks of any type. These masks will be used for first responders. They will be donated to hospitals as needed. We would be grateful for anyone who is willing to donate any unused supplies of masks that they can spare. You can let us know that you have masks to donate by calling our
COVID-19 info.
Our COVID-19 info number, which is 610-631-3000. That's 610-631-3000, and we would be extremely grateful for those contributions. All right, just a couple quick updates on our community-based testing site. I announced yesterday afternoon that a drive-through COVID-19 testing location would open today at Temple University's Ambler campus in Upper Dublin Township. Throughout the day today, dozens of individuals pre-identified by the Montgomery County Office of Public Health, including first responders and healthcare workers, were successfully tested at the site. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., the site will open by appointment only to individuals meeting the criteria that I will review in a moment. The site will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, as testing supplies allow. Individuals meeting one or more of the following 4 criteria will be eligible for testing. Number 1, fever at or above 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit and respiratory symptoms such as cough or shortness of breath are present. Or if you are 65 years of age or older and have a temperature at or above 99.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or you're a first responder, and that includes law enforcement, fire, EMS, or dispatcher, and you have concern for exposure to a patient with suspected COVID-19, or you have respiratory symptoms or fever, or a healthcare worker providing direct patient care and testing is not available through your employer, and you also have concern for direct exposure to a patient with suspected COVID-19, or you have those respiratory symptoms. We would be happy to see you for testing. Due to the limited number of tests available, tests will be reserved for these high-risk categories of individuals that I just described. Generally healthy individuals who have mild symptoms and no underlying medical conditions should remain at home and self-isolate. You do not need to be tested at this time. Criteria for testing may be enhanced or relaxed based on future availability of tests. Online registration for testing appointments will open today at 5 p.m. To give everyone a little more time to get registered. The link will be available at www.montcopa.org/COVID-19, as well as on official Montgomery County social media accounts. Individuals who do not have access to the internet or who do not have an email address can call 610-631-3000, 610-631-3000, beginning tomorrow at 8 a.m. to register for testing over the phone. If you're not able to get through by phone, if there's a busy signal, please call back in 15 to 20 minutes. Please do not call 911 to make testing appointments. So just call back. You know, there might be a little bit of a rush right around 8 o'clock in the morning when we first open these lines. So if you get a busy signal, just wait a few minutes and call back, and we will get you in. But again, please do not call 911 for testing appointments. And with that, I'm going to turn over to Commissioner Lawrence for some additional updates.
Thank you, Val. I want to repeat and clarify 2 announcements that I made yesterday. First, Your Way Home is our agency that works with the homeless population in Montgomery County. Our shelters are still open, but we are trying to decrease that population due to social distancing. So Your Way Home needs to raise $50,000. That would last for 2 weeks to get people out of the shelters, into emergency housing, and into hotels. And for donations, you can visit www.yourwayhome.org/donate. And as I mentioned yesterday as well, the Red Cross is desperate for blood donations. And we have confirmed that they are taking enhanced precautions with their staff. There will be social distancing for those donations as well. And there's no evidence that COVID-19 can be transmitted via a blood donation. This is for accidents, transfusions. Despite this health crisis, they still need blood for surgeries and things of that nature. So those who wish to donate can do so by scheduling an appointment to give blood at www.redcrossblood.org, or there's a Red Cross donor app as well, or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. We know that everyone's been cooped up all week, and this was actually Val's idea, but I get to announce it. Our Tourism and Convention Board has created virtual tours, and they've also have a list of our local dining scene for restaurants, distilleries, and breweries that are available for pickup. So you can visit their website at www.valleyforge.org. The John James Audubon Center, www.johnjames.audubon.org. You can do a virtual tour of the new center there. And then also the Elmwood Park Zoo, www.elmwoodparkzoo.org. If you're a Montgomery County resident, you live within 5 miles of one of our trails, and our trails are open. If you try to access a trail through the parks, depending on the park, they might be gated off. But trailheads are open. We have 90 miles of trails. You can practice social distancing there. The parks are closed because we don't want people congregating in the pavilions and on playgrounds, but we would encourage everyone this weekend. It's a great week to get out, experience the trails, walk, run, bike, practice social distancing. I never thought I would tell my teenage son that he couldn't go out and play basketball, but he could go into the basement and play Fortnite with his friends virtually, but this is where we are. But I'm not sure what the weather is going to be this weekend. But there's been a lot of questions about it. The trails are absolutely open, and we are encouraging people to use the trails while practicing social distancing. If your trailhead, you typically get access the trailhead through a park, you may not be able to do that, but you can go to our website, access the trails, and you can find a trailhead where you can get on. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Gale to give a municipal update.
Thank you. I want to thank our municipalities for working closely with us to help mitigate the spread of coronavirus. Montgomery County is made up of 62 municipalities, and it's very important that we have close communication. Many of our municipalities are working very hard to communicate with their residents as well. Some of them are holding virtual town halls to provide safe communication with their residents. The county commissioners typically have a series of town hall meetings that we call Conversation with Commissioners, held in the spring. We had to cancel that due to social distancing, but many of our municipalities are keeping their residents updated. We also know the public's concerned with essential services that municipalities deliver, such as sanitation workers and trash collection. The municipalities are staggering employee shifts. They're using telecommunication for their employees and utilizing that as much as possible, and also implementing flexible leave policies to make sure all those essential services are addressed. Earlier today, President Trump and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin announced today that the deadline for filing federal taxes will move from April 15th to July 15th. Montgomery County is working with our municipalities to extend the deadline for property tax payments. Given the current situation we're in, it's the county's desire to take action to both assist our residents who may be impacted financially by the situation, and to reduce the need for residents to visit their local tax collector offices. To that end, we are asking our municipal partners to consider an extension of the discount period for property taxes. Our Our recommendation is an extension of at least 4 weeks, with our preferred option being that all municipalities jointly extend through May 31st, 2020. While we acknowledge this may put additional strain on budgets that are no doubt feeling the stress of the current emergency, we feel that this extension is in the best interest of all our residents. We would like to confirm a consensus that all municipalities in Montgomery County agree that a discount period should be extended. So this is an effort that I'm spearheading, and we will keep the residents of Montgomery County updated as we have more specific details on the property taxes. Thank you, and I'll turn it back to Commissioner Harper.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So here we are. It's Friday. Tomorrow marks 2 weeks since we got our first reports of coronavirus in Montgomery County. It has been quite a busy 2 weeks, and I once again just want to thank our extraordinary team that has been working literally around the clock for the last 2 weeks to help keep everyone in Montgomery County safe. And I want to thank the people of Montgomery County who have been amazing. There are so many neighbors helping neighbors. I see offers of people to help elderly neighbors to volunteer. It's really been extraordinary, and I just want to personally, on behalf of all of us up here, thank everyone so much. I had no doubt how strong this community is and that people would step up. We all know it's okay not to be okay right now, and we just need to give each other a big virtual hug. Think about acts of kindness that you can do for your friends and neighbors. Stay in touch as best that you can so that we will all be able to get through this together and be stronger on the other side of it. And with that, I am happy to take questions.
Did you get an idea, we talked yesterday, you weren't sure about how many appointments you might be able to have per hour. Did you get any clarification on that today, or is that still?
I don't believe we do have clarification on that yet, but we should have a pretty robust number of appointments for tomorrow. So, people should just go on and try to get an appointment or call tomorrow morning on the phone. But we'll be running daily, for a while. So people will be able to get tested who fit the criteria.
The turnaround time on the testing, do you know what that would be?
Right now, the turnaround time is looking like it's going to be in the 4 to 6 day range. We are trying to get that streamlined. Some of that is not in our hands because this testing site is being set up with the assistance of our federal partners. We do not have full control over how those results are going to be coming back to us. So we are working with the State Department of Health and others to try to see if we can streamline that a bit. But right now, people should anticipate 4 to 6 days.
The call for mask donations seems pretty dire. When we talked yesterday, you said you were not aware of any hospitals that had contacted you saying they need these things, so then what are these for? And really, what is the situation around there for protective equipment?
I don't believe I said that hospitals had not contacted us. I don't believe I said that exactly. I said that we are in regular contact with hospitals and we are keeping very abreast of their needs. As each day passes, they are getting lower. Some of our hospitals are getting lower and lower on supplies. There are new supplies coming in. Everyone is supposed to get some in the next few days, we believe. But given that this is likely to go on for some period of time, we're looking for spare masks. We've already had some donations from businesses that were shut down, and they knew they had masks, so they offered them up. So if we can get more from businesses that are closed for now, that would just ease the burden for everyone. Because remember, it's not just Montgomery County, it's the whole United States that needs masks. So anyone that can help chip in, that would be great.
What about the county's role in enforcing the governor's list of businesses to close? Will the county, will the townships be responsible for monitoring nail salons and other places that are open?
We're trying to get clarity on that, but what the guidance that we've received so far, but I do not have this in writing, but what we've been told verbally is that enforcement of the governor's order is a municipal effort, not a county effort.
So that would lay on the township.
That's correct. That's what we've been told verbally. I do not have that in writing.
We've already seen in Montgomery County first responders test positive, and then what that does to a larger police department. Are there any fail-safes in place or conversations if this should happen to a small 2 to 3 officer department? Will state police come in? Will other departments come in for mutual aid? What is the plan there?
We're very fortunate in this county that our 50 municipal police departments have mutual aid agreements. And so far, we have been able to meet all needs with those mutual aid agreements.
I'm in touch with someone who has a loved one who may be getting out of the hospital soon, and the advice has been to get tested again. Is that expected protocol, or is that, do you have any idea how that's working, or is this kind of uncharted territory?
Those recommendations have been changing. Those are CDC recommendations that then come down through the Department of Health, the Pennsylvania Department of Health, and they have been changing. It's my understanding that they've backed away a little bit from that additional test, I think in an effort to preserve tests and make testing more available to people who are looking for a diagnosis. So we talked about new CDC isolation criteria the other day and when you could be released from isolation. And the current criteria are that you are at least 7 days out from the first day you had symptoms, and you at least 72 hours have gone by since you had a fever without taking any fever reducing medications. And if those criteria are met, then there's now no additional requirement for another test. That's what the CDC said as of 2 days ago. So that's what we're following.
And have you been hearing anything about people hospitalized, recovering, or anything along those lines, or is?
Not specifically, no.
The 4-year-old that you announced today from New Hanover, is that the same household as the 2-year-old previously announced?
I don't believe so. All right, thank you all. I think tomorrow, unless something, big happens, we're gonna do a press release, paper release tomorrow and Sunday. That's our plan right now. But
This
if anything
agreement holds-
changes, we'll let you know.
Our agreement holds on the weekend, so
Great.
just
And
let us.
thank you all for that.
Let
so
us
much.
know so that we can